Hey there, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Functional Trainer Reverse Lunge. This is an incredible exercise for your quadriceps as well as your glutes. So let's just make sure we do it correctly. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your cable height all the way down to the bottom. I'm just going to show you guys how to move that here. And then the rotation arm, we want to keep that all the way at a 1. That way you're inside the machine as much as possible and not in the middle of the gym floor. Then you want to make sure you choose the appropriate weight. Make sure you start off light, make sure you can do 20 repetitions first, and then slowly start to increase the weight every other week or so. And then just make sure that when you stand initially in front of the machine, that the cable's in between your legs. That way, as you take a step back, the weight's not going to be pulling you in one direction or the other. And then you just want to make sure that you're taking a nice big step back with your chest nice and high, and make sure you do it in a slow and controlled fashion. Now, before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
The key thing when you're doing this lunge variation is to make sure that the cable is as close to your chin as possible. I'm going to give you guys an angle here and show you basically how the cable is right underneath my chin and my elbows are forward. The reason why the cable machine makes this exercise effective is because it's going to be pulling you directly downward, because that's how gravity works. It pushes you down, so your resistance needs to be downward when you're doing this variation, meaning that if you take too far of a step back, like in your start position, it's going to start pulling you forward, and then it's going to put an unnecessary strain on like your lower back, because it's going to be pulling you horizontally as you're trying to go vertically. Another key thing what I want you guys to do is make sure that when you're taking that nice big step back, that your front leg, the tibia in your front leg, is the same angle as your torso. So you don't want to be bending over necessarily. You don't want to bend your hips. You don't want to bend over too much. That might happen a little bit, but that's not a problem. Just make sure that you're not like basically with your chest facing down. You want your chest facing forward. Also make sure that the front leg, the heel, it stays planted on the ground as hard as possible. You want to push with your whole foot, but primarily you want to be pushing with your heels. That way you keep the tension on the quadriceps and not like on your toes and on your feet. Also make sure that the knee on the front leg doesn't go excessively over the toes. If it goes over a little bit, it's not a huge deal, but just make sure that that it bends, obviously. And you're not bending more at the torso than you are at the knees. So here's some common mistakes. Not taking too big of a step back. If you do that, you'll naturally just fold on yourself. This is not good. You want to make sure you're taking a nice big step back. That way the back leg is basically in line with your torso. And then another common mistake is taking too big of a step back. So notice how I had to bend forward more. That's not going to help me build stronger legs and put more pressure on my back. Also, like I said, make sure that the front foot, the heel, stays down on the ground. It should not be elevated like that. Also, you want to make sure that you're doing full repetitions all the way down and all the way up.